Alright, hello there my fellow Time Patrol viewers, Tomas here. Before you guys ask, Tomas, where are that goes? What's up guys, Tomas Mathis here, aka C7 here. Well, before you guys ask, I decided to do a little bit improvement of my intro to make it more or less accurate. So, and I will tell a little bit more important by the end of the video. So, anyways, let's talk about a problem that I haven't talked about the most. Is cheesing. Now, it's a what would Xenoverse 2 players do if they don't win? If they lose a match, they come up with the worst tactic possible by using cheese. Now, like I said, it's basically common for people to use cheese is in video games, like it could Xenoverse 2 for example, like the 3-bar margins, or basically other stuff like that. But however, in this video, I'm going to have to show you guys examples of types of cheesing which involves two players. And before you guys do something, do not go and harass one of these two players I mentioned. Do not, even though they are called cheesers. But do not go and harass them. And anyways, so yeah, there's actually one example I want to tell you guys. So it was like one day, well, that's somewhere in February. I think it was the beginning of this year. I was playing in a multi lobby, scrolling around Cotton City, until I stumbled across a person known as Super Saiyan Gohan. Now apparently, I have to say, the character does not look like a Super Saiyan Blue Gohan at all. With just a dark-skinned person that's trying to be Gohan. I mean, I know some people can create characters that are basically either based off of Dragon Ball characters. Like there's one time I have a Saiyan character that's named after Goku. I did it to create my Red Fox system that you guys know and love today. And basically, it's basically filled to the time that people use their male Saiyans and basically do something like that. But back where I was saying, so apparently there was so many there was a time that I ended him, and he caused a widespread of attention where he was spamming the ML said, "Hello, welcome back," and basically trying to say that he's still here. And like I said, I did not even know who this guy time. I tried looking at him and see if he was in one of my friend lists, but unfortunately he wasn't in one of my friends. And overall, if you guys were asking, did you fight that guy when you meet him? Well, apparently I haven't. I decided to ignore of his attention, and basically I decided to think to myself, what if I fight this player again? But that was until days later, until I stumbled across the same person who was spreading like a whole ruckus by spamming the voice chat. And basically, I didn't even know about that before, because apparently it's basically common for people to spam their basically voice chat ads to try to get people to get attention. I know it's fun to communicate, but if a person starts spamming it completely, it could be annoying fast. Just like this fight I just had. Now guys, this is the video that I'm probably about to show you guys is next is basically the fight where I had against this player, and let me tell you, it was one of the worst matches I ever played. Way worse than the fight against TV Never That. Way worse than fought a Digital Vegito player. And just it has got to be the worst match I ever had in a life. It will be stay that way for a reason. Guys, this is the clip of me fighting this player, and there you can tell exactly why this cheating problem is always started. So yeah, here it is right now. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. Obviously, he picks his male Saiyan, and I pick my fuck. and basically the match starts always. So he starts charging right because I don't have the charge because I use Cheering Super Soul that allows you to get a full maximum of your ki. But when I start attacking, I started to notice something. He starts to grab me. Yes, this player is one of those people who don't who in their life never throw punches, just simply grabbing. Right, this is like Broly grab spammer players, and they use Broly not to attack, but just grab them until their health is extremely down just to win matches. But that is just another that's just an example right here. Like you can see, he was running away from me, and I had tried to get him to fight me, but unfortunately, this guy was kind of players I ever fought. And he starts spamming Masenko. Like I said before, he grabs me and uses Masenko. That is the only tactics of winning this match. No punches, just simply using Masenko and basically grabbing and Masenko. Okay, I know it's very much common for people to grab and end it with a combo, but when you use Masenko, a very overpowered skill. But anyways, when it's low, he starts to spam super after image. But I decided to connect his energy by spamming God Fist 2 times. And basically, what I did not notice is this dude, why he was still grabbing me and spamming Masenko like a cheater that he is, has Elder Kai's Super Soul. And basically, that's why he's one of those players who have that healing Super Soul, and just so he can win matches. But like I said, this match has got to be the worst match ever. Not in my whole life. It's had to be the worst of all. But and by the end of the match, I lost, and somehow I had to say, this match, in my personal opinion, is the worst match I ever had. So yeah, I lost the match like that. So yeah, that's what I said in this video. What he does is no doesn't throw punches. No, excuse me. Let me get that stayed up. Let me get this stayed up and right here. Like I said before, he doesn't throw any punches. No, and doesn't even do any type of skills. Just his only tactic is using cheese, grass spamming, and spamming Masenko. Now, obviously, right after that match, I was like, hell no. If I want to play with this guy, I will not play with that. But this dude begins to follow me around the map like he was want to get a rematch. But however, I have basically been angry about this player for months, for days. It's because not only after that match that we both have, it's just had to be the worst. So yeah, he said be a friend request, and I said fuck it. If he doesn't have to fight me ever again. But unfortunately, that had to be the biggest regret I became a cheeser, basically. Who not only use cheese every the matches, but I pretty much it's gonna probably last until like days until I basically said, you know what, I go to unfriended and block him. But by the time right now, he invited me to a group chat. But however, he wasn't a host. It was another player. It was some random player that started as a host. And and after though, he keeps spamming like the entire match. Just him flooding the entire group chat with invitations. But however, that doesn't the worst part. I looked at my PS4 or notifications, and oh boy, it was filled to the brim of him sending invitations. This is like King in 52K, 200K all over again. If you don't know who that player was, well, he's not like the other guy. It's with the shittiest connection I'd ever seen. But listen, I'm not complaining about how his connection. But what I am saying here is that thank God that he's no longer online. He doesn't online anymore. not so I could have catch a huge break of playing my video game by myself without receiving any invitations. But that is just actually the big tip of the iceberg right here. But however, there was one time that when we get to back to this ever conversation, many players are when they match, they don't even basically just say, you know what, maybe I will try against with another type of skill and make sure I can win this time. No, they decide to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I could use cheesing. Maybe I could clap back, but I don't even actually know that's not what that's the way the things that they do. And basically, what they do is they start cheesing. They come up with any cheese that they can think of. Cheesing with continuous blast, or basically any skill that seems to be as a cheese move, and that's what actually in my head to be basically this cheesing problem. Whatever with players that you face, they're always going to be cheesers. Saying just that because, like I said, cheesing is extremely bad, and because of the fact I had to say right here, it's just got to be one of the worst times I ever even see it. Not even in my time in Xenoverse 2. It's just so many times I keep finding so many players in Xenoverse that it's simply just the fact that it's probably going to be pretty much insane about it. But there was actually one. There was another player that I actually fought, and this was voted as a martyr. Now, this I know as Gatchis. Now, I'm about to call him Gatchis because I don't know what his username is. I'll say correctly, so I'm gonna call him Gatchis. Gatchis. So when I was actually playing Xenoverse 2 back in 2025, I was simply just during the Feast of Sage event, and basically what I did, find new ores. But suddenly, that was the big mistake. Player started said, fight me. I was like, what the fuck? Why did this dude basically said he wanted to fight me, even or I just use a basically or that's way different than his. But that's why I come up with the point that do not know what that even means right there. So, anyways, I accepted, and boy, I have faced that mistake. This I picked my fast-saving character, and this bike picks a fucking invisible character. No, let me guess it. He used all the clothing that you are not and for your male characters, and basically just shows himself invisible. Just not just an invisible ultimate screen. And oh boy, I basically have problems fighting this player. Now apparently he has his invisible. He's invisible. I can't find out where is he attacking me because his OC is basically invisible. Oh, it's just like the John Cena, like of this player of this ride, where he goes, "You can't see me," but now the me just makes it more accurate because I can't see him at all. But that is not the only player I fight here. Also in Trade Trade, I also fought against another player who is also the same, also a pastry cheeser. Now, this guy we know as Oscar. Now, I do become friends with him because, like I said, I am do care more or less about him because, like I said, he's a player that I don't much play with all the time. So apparently, I basically fought this player, and he always shows up when I'm around. So right here is when I fight him, his characters looks like they're like low level. Okay, I say all right. Maybe it's gonna be an easy match after all. Until he's pick his character. But here's the simple. One of his characters were either Earthling, including his male Earthling and female. But that was actually where I get to the part that their characters are both Saiyans with higher power levels. Reminds me of the other guy that I keep fighting Xenoverse 2 with the Fox Team character and a female monster of his. But anyways, this is the second example I'm going to show you guys right here. And basically, this is going to be right here. And right after the second clip, I'm about to come up with a conclusion. And basically, a important message pretty much too. So, like I said before, this is one of the matches I had against him when I basically win the challenges. So I basically provide for a compilation. As we say again, here it is. Alright, so this is the second example I have right here. Like I said, it's just your unusual matches. But this guy, I'm not sure that the godfish and the cheese right there. But over here, that this dude is also a cheeser who also not only spams skills but also uses type shift jump spike, the most iconic and very overpowered cheese skill I ever seen in my life. Obviously, like I said, I picked Goku. This is one of the time that he keeps randomly challenging me on these matches. But however, unfortunately, despite my use of the Keystone technique and base, he was very impossible to beat. Due to his cheese and basically other stuff, I can actually can say about that right here. Now, like I said, there's nothing else bad about this player. I mean, at least he is one of those players who has pretty much skills. But the reason why I put him in an example because even though this was a good match, but apparently what ruins it is the cheese and the spam. But obviously, there's nothing wrong with Oscar. So, Oscar, you see these videos? GG's, man. And like I said, it's the second example of why cheesing takes another whole level. Like that. But anyways, here's my conclusion. I think some players should learn that cheesing players is not the best option. They should not be able to use they need to play the game regularly. Need to play this to get some skills, and not just some major other stuff like that. Overall, well, cheaters are the worst players to encounter, and I really wish that they could stop. That cheaters will probably much disappear when Xenoverse 2 ends, wherever it's going to end, because there Legends of when Xenoverse 2 is probably will end with its DLC. When some people claim that it won't be the final DLCs because we're getting the moral arc and basically sometime later the Black Frieza because why not? But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. But before I end this video, I want to come up with a string important message I want to tell you guys. But if you haven't seen my community posts, I may have claimed that one of my videos, it was called Plane Troubles, used to have 52 views. But unfortunately, when I look at it back again, it suddenly has dropped to when I looked at it. But that is a major problem. Because, like I said, I do post videos almost like every day, or sometimes a day, or a week, or stuff like that. But it seems like YouTube really thinks that I'm posting content that's spam, which is not. I always channels. But when I first was uploading one of my videos onto YouTube, they were these videos were only entertaining for me to post. I basically post the videos on back of the PS4, and when I post my videos on my PS5, that's basically what I basically do. I haven't scheduled yet because apparently if I want to post videos all day, there's gotta be some major change in the content. And my most popular video was about the Burkle situation where Burkle has not basically appeared on YouTube anymore because apparently he's taking a break. I don't know when he's gonna return, but I really hope that he missed out on everything in Xenoverse. Like I mean anything, I mean like everything. That's why I come up with a claim that I banned because one of my videos seems to be not getting as much views as that's seen. No one has not yet seen one of my videos or anything like that. And basically because I feel like YouTube just want me to not be able to entertain my audience at all. So that's why I come up to a decision. I need to post videos that are basically University related, like my Western game, or the game for play footage of me playing God of Warfare 2, as you see your screen right now. But not in my entire life when I actually wanted to, if I really playing Zero vs 2 altogether, I moved to a different community and basically post some content that is literally related on that stuff. But like I said before, I do not want to really move away from this Universe community because apparently it's a community that I called home. This is where I belong. Um, but I don't want to move or basically quit and or even deactivate my Twitter account. People will be downright sad that I basically leave. But I want to make sure I always stay in the community without leaving or basically such stuff like that just in case if the university community comes with even more drama that is too much to handle. But yeah, well, probably starting by I'm starting soon. I will post videos as not see and allow you guys to see the entertainment of this video. But as always, please, and as always, if you, that's all I can say in this video. As always, this is Mars Matters, aka which I mean, this is Tomorrow's sign off. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, my fellow time patrollers.